the presentation. Now these slides, all of these slides will be emailed to you by the student administrator. Soon you will receive them, right? And so what you have to do is, you don't have to take down the notes, but whenever you come up with any doubts, please raise your hand and ask a question. I'll clarify it then and there. So when you are going to do the final major project as an MBA student, now when you start to do your, now today is just orientation. Today your BDP cycle is not going to start, just orientation today. But once you start up with the BDP cycle, you become university students. So you will be guided by the regulations of the university, not by BSc or LSc. So in one way it's good, you feel that now we are direct university students. And other than that, there is another side of that also. For any reason you can't get extensions for the final project. Okay? So it has to be something like a family burial, or maybe you have been hospitalized for a couple of months or something like that only, valid reasons. Getting sick for a couple of days or weeks is not going to be a mitigating circumstance. Because why? Because now we are going to do this final project for the time span of 12 weeks, which is 3 months. Now you can note down today's date. I'm saying a prediction. Today, from starting from whatever the day that your BDP cycle starts, that will be the fastest 3 months in your life. Right? So some students say, we have 3 months. We did the assignment on the last couple of days. This is not a game for us. No, this will be a game. It's a right game, right? So because it's the final project, 12,000 words. You have to do a real research. In RM module, you did a proposal. I mean, you did not implement the research. But here you are going to implement the research. You have to do a real research. So doing the research, writing the business proposal, meantime attempting the research reflection report, attending to your other work, your office matters and all you have to do within the 12 weeks life cycle, right, as a university student. So make sure you plan your time well. Now, when you are going to do your final project, the BDP, Business Development Proposal, you have two options, students. You can either come up with a business development proposal for a very new business, as a fresh entrepreneurship business you can start it, or maybe you can come up with a business development proposal for an existing company, right? You have a company at the moment and you can come up with a proposal for that company to maybe to penetrate, or maybe to diversify, or maybe to develop new markets, or maybe introduce new products like that. And I'll come to that later on. So remember, you have two options, out of which you have to select one. You can either develop a BDP for a very new business, and you are going to be the entrepreneur for the first time with that, or you can come up with a business development proposal for an existing business startup. Okay, now, I don't know whether you believe, I always believe you all have better talents than you think, right? So you have the potential of doing a new business as well as an existing business, but you have to do only one. Now you have to make the right choice. Am I going to do a new business, or am I going to do the existing business? Because you have the potential to do both. Now before you start, ask these questions from yourself to take the right decision. What suits for me most? Is it the new entrepreneurial business idea, or is it a business proposal for an existing company? First thing is, you have to analyze your future aspirations. Now you have to ask from yourself, what I really want to be in my life, in the long-term future. Do I want to work under someone forever as an employee, or do I want to become an entrepreneur and run my own business? So when you ask that question, maybe what your mind says is, no, one day I want to be an entrepreneur. I have a good business idea in my head, which I did not do for the MSc assignment, which I preserved to do in the last project, right? So that is the business idea that I have in my head, and one day I want to really implement it, right? If that's so, then you might most probably go for a new business, because you have the passion to become an entrepreneur one day. Or maybe much happy with the company that I'm working at the moment. I'm a long-serving, hard-working, loyal employee to this company. And as an employee, I have the job satisfaction. I can even work for some more years with this company. So why can't I do something for my company? Maybe I can enhance my company standards further. I can take my company as a new initiative, maybe diversifying it to a new business area. Or maybe my business is limited only to our country now. With this, I can take it to another region or maybe another country in the world. Or maybe I can come up with new product innovations to the same target market. You know, maybe you have seen the potential of your existing company, which you could not propose to your management because you are busy with your other assignment. Now this might be the opportunity. What you have to do is then you have to come up with a business proposal for your existing company, and then you wait until you get the results. Once you get the results, you can propose it to the management. Don't propose it before that. Don't know whether your boss also do it MD. He or she can use the same proposal. This has happened, right? So therefore, make sure that then if you have that type of passion, I want to do something for my existing company, then it's a win-win situation. I get my MBA and later on I can propose it to my company and I can gain career progression, maybe promotion, more recognition from the management because I propose something for my company to really grow in the marketplace. So if that is the mindset that you have, then you might most probably go for existing business. And then you evaluate your potential, students. Evaluate your potentials means now you have done a couple of modules, actually almost all the modules now, by now you have completed and you have submitted, maybe you are awaiting results for the last module that you did, but all the other modules that you have done and you have passed, and that is why you are here. And maybe last module result only you are pending, right? So now you know that what type of skill set that you develop throughout this MBA, right? It can be the analytical skills, it can be the report writing skills, because what you practice in every assignment was the report writing skill. You had a word count, you had a deadline, you had a structure to follow. So this is with or without your knowledge, what you have done is you have developed up to a certain level the report writing skills. And communication skills, you manage to work with people in the class in different groups, not the groups that you not the group that you found that these people are interested for me to work, but the groups that the lecturer appointed you to go and work, right? In different modules. What did you develop from that? Interpersonal skills, because in that group there might have been people from different industries with different backgrounds, with different age limits, people with different personalities, but you managed to work with them, so you have developed your interpersonal skills. All these skills, plus the learning that you gain from each and every module, you are going to apply in this final project. So now see that what skills that you have really developed that you can really use when you are writing your final major project, what skills that still which you find lacking in you, because no one is perfect. All of us have chances to grow and develop further. There can be certain skills that you have not yet developed. So now knowing that will be an advantage, then you can work closer with your supervisor and get the support of the supervisors also to enhance those skills to make sure that you come up with a good business proposal. And the other thing is very important. Determine the access that you have for data. Remember, when you are doing the final project, you are supposed to have the access to primary and secondary data both. Now since we have done RM module, I am sure that all of you are very much aware what is primary data and what is secondary data. So some students think that if I select existing company, I can get all the data from the company, annual reports, website, company internal reports. So going for existing business proposal, it will be much easy for me because I can get all the information from the company which I work. That's not enough. You have to gather your primary data. Simple example, if you have taken an idea of coming up with new products to your existing target market, to your existing company, of course, some data you have to take from within the company. That you can easily take because you are a manager there or maybe an employee there. So you have easy access to that data. But what about the target market information? For an example, now you are going to come up with a new product to your target market. You have to conduct a research and find out whether they are willing to accept that product or service. So you have to conduct a survey among on your target audience, not to distribute questionnaire among 10 people. That will, the number of questionnaire that you have to distribute among the target audience will depend on when you apply that formula of sampling. Sometimes the sample size can be 300, 400, or even sometimes 250, like that. So you have to do that research by yourself. Okay? So this is not like the RM module, it's something couple of steps further, because there you did not do the research, but here you are doing the research practically. So you have to have sufficient access to the required primary data and secondary data. I'll tell you a recent example. I'll tell you this much. One of the batches who are in the process at the moment. One student, now out of the 12 weeks, now 5 weeks have gone. Now that student has realized, even though she or he has selected an existing business proposal to come up with, because I can take company information, I'm an employer, I'm a manager there. Now the student has found out, even though you are a manager, there are restrictions. Company is scared to give certain sensitive information. Now she wants to come up with a new business proposal, again reversing back. I clearly told the student, if you think that you can't find information and you can't go ahead with the existing business idea, then no other option, then you have to change. But remember, for any reason, you will not get some more weeks. You have to complete it within the given 12-week cycle, because after 5 weeks, you change your topic, you don't get another fresh 5 weeks. You have to complete the entire BDP within the allocated 12 weeks time span. So don't take chances like that, because after a couple of weeks, reversing and coming back and changing the business idea is not a good practice, because you have less time and then you have to change your format, because new business has a different format to follow, existing business has a different format to follow. Then when you are shifting from existing business to new business, then earlier you came for the guidance sessions of existing business. Now you have decided that you are moving to the new business, because you can't gather data from the existing company. Now you have not followed none of the sessions in the new business form with us. Then you are lost. And then you don't get extra weeks. Right? So make sure that you have time. You are very lucky, because your BDP cycle will not start immediately. You will have a couple of weeks. Think very carefully, what business idea I really want to implement through this business proposal. Am I going to take up the challenge of starting my own business as a fresh entrepreneurial business idea, which you call new business proposal? Or then you have a business idea in your head, maybe to do with your existing company. Now itself, see the potential of gathering these data in an ethical manner. Right? I'm emphasizing on that word, ethical manner, because you have to protect your job while you are gaining them. Okay. Then other thing is analyze the availability of other required resources. So time 12 weeks is there, which you can't get extra or less. For everyone it's 12 weeks. But other than that, there can be certain other resources that you need. For an example, you need the support of the supervisors, and other than that, you need the support of the learning that you gain from the other modules. And also, sometimes you should have access to internet, computer, because some students say that I was out of the country, so I could not do the project for 1 week. Right? I don't know to which island that student reach, because in most parts of the world you have internet. Okay? So therefore, like, that will not be a mitigating circumstance to get extra time. So make sure you have a computer which is properly functioning, and all the copies of your documents, you email it to yourself. Even you lose, even your hard disk crashes, or even you lose your pen drive or whatever, because all these things happening for students near the submission. Losing the pen drive. My entire world was there, I lost it. I'm lost now. Right? I'm always telling you from the first module itself, email it to you, not to your boss, not to your friend, not even to your husband or wife. And don't save it in the office computer where anybody can remotely access. I'm telling this because of a reason. Because some students came here, unfortunately their final project components are mapping with another person who is working in the same office. Ultimately the reason was it was saved in a common folder that anyone can access. Both failed. Because both say, no, I did my original work. Both failed. Right? You should be careful enough to protect your data. So make sure you email all your work to you in different versions. Okay, this is version 1, once you improve it, okay, this is version 2. So, because some says on the deadline date, oops, I have uploaded the wrong assignment. How careless you are, you are MBA students. Not kindergarten or certificate course or diploma level or bachelor's, you are MBA students. You should be careful enough to see that what is the final document that you have uploaded. Now some of you might go through the bitter experience. Sorry, what you have submitted on the deadline day will be accepted as the final assignment and that will be marked and you will be assessed against that. Some of you may have heard it, I wish none of you have heard it and not to hear that from anyone. So make sure you upload these things well before the deadline and see the similarity and then you have time to adjust all these things. So plan your time very, very carefully. As I said that even though it's 12 weeks, this will be the fastest 3 months in your life. So other thing is barriers and remedial actions. Now students, some of you who are here, maybe you have already informed by your office that in the future, maybe for a couple of weeks, you have to go abroad for some of your office work, right? So for that you will not get extension. Only thing you have to plan yourself. Okay, I am going to lose this much of time. So how I am going to divide the available time to capture this 1 week which I lost because of my foreign trip, right? And some of you, I don't know, some of the students, weddings are falling during this 12 weeks. It has happened, right? So if there is any person like that, please let us know in advance. That is not to give extension. Our campus manager will prepare a different schedule for you in a way that you also will submit it with the other students in the batch. And you will, focus on the wedding work peacefully. And meantime, you do your BDP also. It's very clever in doing that. He will come up with a different schedule for you in a way that you finish your BDP also and you finish your other work also. Okay? Because there were a couple of students like that in the past few batches and they wanted to actually postpone. Right? But what will happen is, students, you know that once you get registered with the university as a final phase student who's doing the major project, if you don't submit your BDP with the batch, still it will be considered as non-submission failure, provided that you have already registered with the university. That registering work is done by Aman. If she has registered you in the university as a final phase student, the university knows that by when you have to submit your BDP to the portal and by when we have to send the hard copies of your projects to the university for them to mark. So with that, according to that schedule, if your BDP did not reach them on time, they know that it's a non-submission failure. So when you do it with another batch or next time, maximum you can score is 40. Your entire average can go down. Not can, it will. Why? This subject, this final phase has 60 credits allocated. It's like it has the weight of 3 compulsory modules, 60 credits. And you know that when you were given the orientation, you were clearly given instructions how the final average is calculated. From all the other module averages, 2/3 is taken. From the final project marks, 1/3 is taken. And then only they take the final average and decide whether you have passed with a merit or just a pass or a pass with a distinction. There can be some students here who are in the margin of overall average at the moment, maybe like 59, 58.5. Then if you do a BDP, to get a higher merit, like we say 67 or 68 or something like that, your entire MP average has a possibility to upgrade for merit. Okay? Then if you If you are in the boundary, please take a book from there in the last room. There's a BDP manual, take that. If you are in the boundary average of 68.5 or 69 or something like that, for the final project, if you score a distinction like 72 or 73 marks like that, there's a high potential for you to upgrade the entire MBA into a distinction. Right? This is a nice opportunity for you to upgrade your entire grade if you do a real quality work in your final project. And vice versa also. You may have a boundary merit level like somewhere like 60 at the moment. If you do your BDP just to get a pass, your entire grade goes down. You might end up in a general pass. Okay? You might be exactly on 70 at the moment with other module averages. This one you do maybe to get about 50 marks or 58 marks or whatever. Again, your entire average will go down to 60s. You end up in a merit. So, take this final project seriously. I'm not making you scared, I'm showing you the real picture because now you are not late. You are going to start. You have not started it yet. Now you know how to plan yourself to get the maximum out of the coming 12 weeks to come up with a good proposal, with a good research. Okay, assume that after you evaluate your potentials and your future aspirations, you thought of coming up with a business proposal for a very new startup. Now some students misunderstand what you mean by a very new startup. They think that there is a small company or maybe there's a big company in another country. I'm going to take that company here to Sri Lanka. That is not a new business. It's an existing business doing a new market development. They are coming here. It's not a new business. Okay? Or maybe at the moment you are into banking. You are a bank. And you are going to start up a training school for the bankers who are coming for the banking profession in Sri Lanka. That is not a new business. That's an existing business going for a diversification. Then what do you mean by new business? You don't have roots of any business at the moment. You don't have at least a small company. You don't have a mother company, brother or sister or uncle companies here or elsewhere. Right? This is the first time that you are going to write up a very fresh business proposal and keeping your first step as the initiative to become an entrepreneur. That's what you call a new business. Okay? So, then when you are going to do a new business, you have two options. Either you can come up with an innovative business idea or you can come up with an invention. Now you are batch number 28. So far 27, now 26 and 27 batches, so 25, 26, 27 are in the process. But 24 batches are fully completed, the MBA. Right? So I got the privilege of guiding students in all those 24 batches. So far, there was only one invention through new business. Only one invention. Then what are all the others? Innovation. What do you mean by invention? You introduce something to the world for the first time. There was a student like that. He came up with the invention. It's a first introduction of such a product to the world for the first time. All the other students who did the new business, they came up with innovation. I'll tell you how to do that. But what's the difference? Now this student came up with kind of a herbal drink made out of a different plant, which is a cure for certain diseases. So he got the patent recently. When he was writing the BDP, he did not have the patent, but he got the patent recently. He came and informed us that as well. And nowadays he is doing close research together with University of Peradeniya to see how you can, to see the other medical benefits of that product to some other diseases. Now he's a real entrepreneur, right? He came up with an